Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Please do not forget to hit on the like button. And as we all know that the Deputy Commissioner of Police, that's Abba Kyari, was mentioned amongst those that participated in the embezzlement, and he was actually named when Hush Puppy started narrating his ordeal with the FBI in the United States. As of today, the Inspector General of Police, that's Usman Baba, has recommended the immediate suspension of the embattled Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Abba Kyari, from the Nigerian Police Force pending an ongoing internal investigation involving him. I'm sure that Abba Kyari never thought that anything like this would come his way, but unfortunately, that is what is happening right now. Kyari, the head of Police Intelligence Response Team, was indicted by a US court in California over the alleged involvement in internet fraud of over 1.1 million by Ramon Abba Kyari, Hush Puppy. That's the name he's popularly known. He allegedly received a bribe from Hush Puppy to arrest and jail a member of online fraud gang identified as Chibuzo Vincent. Kyari has since denied this particular allegations that has been levied against him. And in a letter to the Police Service Commission dated 31st July 2021, that is today, the IGP noted the recommendation for suspension of the officer is in line with the internal disciplinary processes of the force. And there was a statement that was actually released by the public relations officer, that's CP Frank Mba. And this was the exact statement that CP Frank Mba released. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, PSC, MPM, FDC, has recommended the immediate suspension of DCP Abba Kyari, the head of Police Intelligence Response Team, from the service of the Nigeria Police Force pending the outcome of an ongoing internal investigations touching on him. The IGP, in his letter to the Police Service Commission dated 31st July 2021, noted that the recommendation for the suspension of the officer is in line with the internal disciplinary processes of the force. The IGP further noted that the suspension is also expected to create an enabling environment for the NPF Special Investigation Panel to carry out its investigation into the weighty allegations against DCP Abba Kyari without inference. The suspension is without prejudice to the constitutional presumption of innocence in favor of the officer. The Special Investigation Panel, comprising 4 senior police officers, is headed by DIG Joseph Egbunike, the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Force Criminal Investigations Department. The SIP, inter alia, is to undertake a detailed review of all the allegations against DCP Abba Kyari by the US government as contained in relevant documents that have been availed the NPF by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The SIP is also to obtain detailed representation of DCP Abba Kyari to all the allegations levied against him, conduct further investigations as it deems fit, and submit recommendations to guide further actions by the force leadership on the matter. Meanwhile, the IGP has reaffirmed the committed Meanwhile, the IGP has reaffirmed the commitment of the force to the rule of law and assured the public of the sanity of the probe as well as the absolute respect for the rights and privileges of the officer throughout the period of the investigation. These were the statements that was actually released today by the relations officer CP Frank Mba. They're trying to assure the public that they will be as transparent as they can be with regards to the investigation that has now mentioned the name of Abba Kyari in this particular fraud activities carried out by Hush Puppy. And you know that it's a very big allegation, and they're not going to let it loose, or they're not going to just keep calm and watch, but they would have to carry further investigation so as to know if Abba Kyari was actually involved or not, because right now they are not ruling it completely that he is guilty. This is pending when investigations have been concluded as to know whether he was part of that fraud of 1.1 million, and if he was paid that amount so as to arrest the other partner whom Hush Puppy requested that he should arrest the guy Chibuzo, which Abba Kyari carried out that particular act of arrest because he was actually paid to do that. But it's not yet concluded until the Nigerian force have concluded the investigations and found him guilty before he can be handed over to the FBI. It's so sad that things like this will be found in the midst of very well respected police officer. And you know that Abba Kyari is one of the top officers that are actually been so committed to doing his job and doing his job well. He has been receiving lots of good recommendations, and when his name popped up for something like this, a lot of people were in shock. Like, this is the guy that people have always seen as being very transparent, and he's out there to get his job done and get hold of people that committed crime or that has been involved in one crime or the other. Unknown to everybody that he will be involved in such an allegation, and such allegation is not even anything that can be waved off. It's not just something very simple, and we know that a lot of fraud was actually linked to Hush Puppy, a lot of things, and it has got to the point that he has to now start mentioning people that are involved. Some people are saying that there are more people that are part of this his fraudulent act that he's been carrying out for so long. Well, I'm sure that as it goes further, if there are more people, definitely he would mention them. You know, in a situation like this, nobody would want to go down alone. That is why when you are being presented with huge sum of money to carry out horrible acts, always think twice before it happens. When nobody is ruling that Abba Kyari is guilty for now, they're still carrying out further investigation. And generally, that's how humans are. I'm sure if he actually participated in this particular fraudulent act that Hush Puppy has been into, he would not believe that Hush Puppy would even mention his name. But nobody would want to go down alone. They would want some other people to go down with them as well. They would say they can't be the only ones to spend the rest of their lives in jail. And Hush Puppy has already been given his sentence, 20 years in jail, and he's going to commence from October with the final verdict on him. And you know, 20 years in jail is not like 5 years in jail, it's not like 2 years in jail. That's a very, very long time you're going to spend in jail. And who would want to stay in jail all by himself with that kind of a long time? No. The person would want other people to also get down with him, because to him he felt he's not the only person that is guilty of this fraudulent act, so he has to get other people that are part of it involved. And this is what money has cost to some people. If only Hush Puppy knew the gravity of what he was doing then, I'm sure he wouldn't have done it. But you know how this thing money can be so tempting. You've done your first deal and you got a huge sum of money. Then you felt, oh, I think I need to go for more. And that's how you will continue going for more. Before you know it, it becomes a permanent thing for you. You will just keep up because the money is flowing. And even when Hush Puppy was up there on Instagram and then showing all the flashy things, unknown to him that that was just the first thing that would get him exposed. And that's how he has ended up in this particular situation right now. Well, and as we all know that even the government is not willing to let low anyone who is being mentioned. They are now saying that whoever is mentioned, even afterwards, they will definitely ensure that their investigation is carried out properly and the person would face the law, irrespective of who is involved. They would all get arrested. The IGP has reaffirmed the commitment of the force to the rule of law and has also assured the public of the sanctity of the probe as well as the absolute respect for the rights and privileges of the officer throughout the period of the investigations. They are also trying to release a statement to assure the public that there will be every form of transparency, and at the same time, Abba Kyari would still be given his own rights, that nothing will be deprived of him in the sense that he's not been found guilty, but until the investigation have been concluded indicating that he is guilty, until then, before any further action can be taken. But for now, just his suspension that is ongoing. And if this is really true that he actually committed this crime, I don't think that it's anything of emulation from anybody. That's to say that every day is for the thief and one day is for the owner. And when Hush Puppy had mentioned Abba Kyari's name, a lot of people were in shock because Abba Kyari is one of the officers that a lot of people have always recommended and they are always applauding his work. He's been very transparent and good at what he's actually doing. But for him to be mentioned in a fraud like this, it's not what anyone would expect from him. Well, no conclusions has been drawn yet as to whether he is guilty or not until investigations have been concluded before anyone can stand or hold on to that. And I'm sure he will be very shocked if he actually participated in this fraud. He will be surprised that Hush Puppy mentioned his name. But what do you expect? Someone who is going down and has been sentenced for 20 years in jail. It's not just a short time, it's not just 1 year, it's not 2 years, it's a very long time. The person would not want to go down alone. The person wants to ensure that all those involved should also go down with him. That's why people getting involved into horrible crimes like this. That's why people getting involved into horrible crimes like this. They should always know that when they are caught, some people would not want to care if you're their friend or their closest brother. They would mention you, especially if they have been faced with harsh conditions or if they are being sentenced. They would ensure that whoever participated in the money laundering should also be mentioned and the person should also face the law just as they are going to face the law. Then Abba Kyari should not be surprised if he was involved and Hush Puppy has mentioned his name. And someone was even saying that they are sure that there are a whole lot of people that are also involved. Probably one after the other, they will be mentioned. If eventually Abba Kyari is found guilty, who knows? If other people that are prominent in the society were also part of this crime, he may also mention them so as not to be found guilty alone in this horrible crime. It's so sad that someone will go into a fraudulent act at a top federal government level. That's to say that the money laundering that Hush Puppy was actually carrying out was at the top, not just a simple mere money laundering that he was actually taking from individuals. Top government money, and that is why it had got to the point that FBI had to get involved, and he's right now in the custody of the United States government. We'll see how it all turns out to be. If eventually Abba Kyari is found guilty, then he would also face the law, just as the statement was actually stated. Friends, what do you all think about this? Knowing that a whole lot of people were very shocked to hear that Abba Kyari, who was being seen as one of the very transparent, good police officer in the country, has now been indicted for a crime, although still under investigation. But please, if you have anything to say, you could put that down at the comment section. That is why it is not good to mess your hands in the quest for money. And a lot of things that exposed Hush Puppy was his flamboyant life when he went online on Instagram, showing all the Gucci, everything, and expressing to people how much he had gotten or how rich he has become. You know, this thing about online, a lot of people use that as a room to show themselves out. And unknown to Hush Puppy that was just the beginning of his own indictment, or that was the beginning of his own arrest. Nothing that is online that is always hidden, no matter how much you try to cover it up, so long as it has been exposed online, that person should be rest assured that he or she will definitely face the law of whatever crime he has committed. And another reason why it's always good to have a honest living. Alright, little did Hush Puppy know that just showing himself on Instagram and showing all those good things he has acquired would lead him into being arrested by the FBI. He never thought of that at all. Always learn to have a honest way of living. If you want to get a job, it's better you get a job that is honest, not a job that would implicate you or get you arrested. A lot of people get themselves into horrible crimes all for the sake of quick money, because they feel that getting involved with all those crimes, you get huge amount of money in a short period of time. To them, when you go doing the normal job, you take a longer time to achieve your success, or you'll be paid in bits monthly, and that's not what they want for themselves. And as a result of that, they get involved into dirty businesses that would land them into a very big mess. Look at now, at the end of the day, Hush Puppy is not out there to enjoy whatever he feels he was actually enjoying. Everything taken away from him. And that is what happens for people that dip their hands into horrible activities like this. When you're caught, you don't even have access to the funds anymore. You don't have access to anything. Everything will be taken away from you. So then why get involved into activities that you know that once you are caught, it becomes like a lost game for you? But once you're doing your honest job, your hands are clean, who would arrest you? You wouldn't have any reason to get arrested, because you are just doing your normal job that everybody sees that it's something legal you are actually doing. Even though it may take a long time for you to acquire a lot of property or acquire things as you may want to, it's better that long time and then you are in a safe place than that quick money and then at the end you don't even get to enjoy the money, which will be seen as a big loss on your own path. Like I said, whatever updates that we'll have regarding Abba Kyari, whether he's found guilty or not, you will definitely be updated with regards to that. Friends, thank you for coming up today. Please do not forget to hit on the like button. Also, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you. God bless you all.